How is everybody? You doing
Fine, thank you.
Good, Messiah. How about you?
all right.
Doing
I
great.
just want to, I love you. How many of you all are posting up this information and getting the people to class because you understand the importance of what we're doing here? Or is it because I'm without a computer that everything is just, you all rely so heavily on me, or not at all? Maybe you just don't care if it goes out. I mean, how many of you by name are really going out of your way to post up this information all over the place in Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, email, all over the place to thousands of people? Constantly.
I have joined some groups in Facebook, and I've posted to them.
True, now? Facebook? Very good.
Yes.
That's very good. Now, have you all, I'm going to say it one more, maybe 1,001 times, have you all joined all the large groups on Facebook?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, because you can do it in one day, like 20 minutes. All right. And so you're posting up on all those people and getting this information out. We can tell by the size of the classes. All right. Now, who has that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with us?
I have a question.
I'll do my best.
I know before that you said you've encountered people that you knew at other points in your journey, and that you possibly had, cut off their head with a tilling beam or something, and you didn't know who they were, but they could forget who you were. Even
That's
though
what Malachi
told
me. Malachi told me that about a guy named Rico, about 6'6" from Brooklyn, a Puerto Rican guy that did legal work for Malachi, along with me and others. But he was very slanderous with me, like all devils are. He was very slanderous and negative toward me, real bad. And Malachi asked me one time, he called me from Penitentiary. He used to call me 2 or 3 times a day. Y'all know that for years. And he asked me, he said, you want to know why Rico, you having so much trouble with Rico? And I said, yeah. He said, because you and Rico met on the battlefield a long time ago. You cut off his head, and you don't remember, and Rico can't forget.
Okay, my question is, along those same lines, that was, I'm not going to say in a negative situation, have there been loves or connections that have gone through different lifetimes where those individuals have found each other again?
Yes. Yes. You pretty much have the same actors, right? Coming up to the final conflict. But there was 2 wars in heaven already. You follow? This is not the first war. You're aware of that, right?
Right. This is the 3rd and final conflict.
Exactly. And there's a separation between negative and positive, good and evil, truth and lies, that type of thing.
Okay, so I guess I'm saying, too, these loves or encounters or whatever word you want to address to it, I guess, how does it go through time and space, or how the energy? What is it that is really happening?
Okay, what's really happening is that we are collective from many densities, different planets, different dimensions, different timelines. But we are always sent on a mission, and we have been successful in conquering many worlds and planets in previous missions. Now we gathered again, and we were all instructed that we were very much appreciated for our success in the previous missions, but that it was time for us to go down to this world, Earth, Tiamat, Gaia, because this would be our final challenge, but it would be by far the most difficult one. And with that, we watched a lot of people turn into like clouds or vapor and just spiral down to Earth and personify. and many of you all are personified here. Now the thing of it is that when you personify or incarnate, you do so without any memory of previous lives. You're totally asleep. And then it happens that over time, through your higher self takes you through many, sometimes tragic and terrible and ugly experiences, painful experiences and pleasurable experiences. And the accumulative effect of that, it begins to wake you up inside because of the intensity of the experiences. And as you wake up, you start realizing who you are, and you start taking up your responsibility, which would be your sword. You start taking your responsibility in the mission as a light worker. And you take very seriously propagating this truth and getting it out there and spreading it, because you know then that the sooner you wake up the 144,000 or whatever the number is, your mission is complete. Now the cabal, these negative, evil beings, black, white, spiritual, all kinds of ugly. They're just the little green and blue flies that stay on shit. They desperately want to keep you asleep. They do not want you to wake. They don't want you all to wake up and remember who you are, thereby becoming immortal. You understand? They created a fear-based society, and they keep coming at you with fear from every direction, the illusions of fear. Now, in our first personifications, it was a lot rougher than it is now, in a personalized way. In other words, many of you were incarcerated. Some of you were crucified. Some were burned at the stake. But the more you wake up people, you wake up yourself. And consciousness is your protection. Not just in yourself, but in all people, to raise the consciousness. And the consciousness now, human resonance, has reached a frequency where that you all no longer need to hide. There's nobody going to come out and put a gun to your head and stop you from propagating truth. It's just the residual memories of past life experiences that might be generating fear or anxiety inside of you. But there's nobody who's going to do it. They're not on this planet. They can't reach, because the last will be first and the first will be last. Many of you have seen the videos where these devils are bowing down and kissing the feet of black people, the Pope, all of them. And you'll remember the promises that the Most High made, such as He will make the devil your footstool and cast him down at your feet for all to behold, and things like that. Right? And the meek will inherit the earth. Some of you all begin to connect the dots. Yeah, you start to remember and connect the dots. But this is a very serious thing and a very powerful event, because this solar system is starting going through an Oort cloud of etheric, fast vibrating gases that has really stimulated vibration in everybody, except those that refuse to accept reality. What they're doing is everything in their power to create an artificial reality, or AI, 5G, as opposed to 5D. You know, when you see them on Facebook trying to create this illusory universe, and they talking about a new world order. And in the meantime, their world is spiraling out of control. And when you look at the news, it's quite evident that they're cruising for a bruising as this thing is coming to a screeching halt. You can see that, can't you? I'm talking to you all. Can't you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And it won't be long before glory. Now, all you have to do, and you don't have a lot of time, you have to do your part in the mission and take it very seriously. You see, the things that you think are important in your life right now, the time will come very soon when you look back at it like little bitty children having discussions. And then when they reach adulthood, they look back and say, you remember when we thought that was important? How we fought over peanut butter jelly sandwiches, you know what I mean? Because you'll be in tune with the oneness. And the reality is that's all that really matters. Because when everybody is aware of the oneness and conscious of it, where does the fear come from? What is there to fear?
Nothing.
That's right. But you have to become conscious of the oneness. And in doing so, you also sever your attachment to the world. Remember the Most High said to you that you must be in the world, but not of it. You have to break these chains, attachments, because what I'm endeavoring to do is reconnect you all to higher, next level, much higher realities. That's what we call the Vesica Pisces. The world is literally split in two, not in half like an apple, but let's call it the spiritual aspect of the world is raising up in frequency and moving away from the lower or carnal, denser aspect of the planet of the apes. We're separating from that. You follow? And as you do that, what we're going to do as a collective consciousness is we're creating our own world, a new world. Are you following me? Where everybody vibrates on that same frequency. And everybody's in tune with the oneness. You follow? Now, I've been telling you all recently that I put out a test to see if you qualify for the chosen or the 144,000. That test is, the first one is move the stars. Right? Now, people that are more mentally sluggish, or let's say of a lower, thicker, negative vibration, you may think, why is that important? It's because it's about one mind. Because I am the Messiah. I was sent here as a servant to you all. And you can prove to yourself that you are part of the oneness of this one mind, the universal mother mind of all. When we can go out and as a collective, you can move stars regardless of your proximity and where you're located geographically on the earth, wherever you are. If you are part of this oneness and you are one with me and I'm one with all, I can see whatever you see through your eyes, and we can move it any way you want to through your eyes. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, some of you have been around long enough to remember that there were people that come to class and they said they didn't see nothing moving, right? Am I right?
Yes.
And some of them said they couldn't move nothing and they couldn't see anything moving. Right? Now,
Right.
some of them were just lying, but the ones were being truthful and they really didn't see anything moving. They're not a part of the one mind. Those are your devils. Are you following me? These are individuals. They are not part of the one mind. They're not part of the consciousness of all. They're not part of divine love. These beings have an electric charge, not magnetic, right? I'm a magnetic spiritual guide. I told you a long time ago, if you can imagine an old refrigerator magnet, we used to get them sometimes as children, you put them on a string and drag them through the grass. Remember that? And everything would stick
to us.
to them. And everything would stick to them, like metal. When you pick them up, they look like a porcupine, all the little metal shards sticking off of the magnet. Remember that?
Yes.
But you never saw any rocks or wood or paper or grass, etc., plastic. None of that stuck to it. Remember that?
Right.
But everything that had a magnetic attraction stuck to the magnet. Understand this. Cherubims have an electric charge. Are you following me? And seraphim have a magnetic charge. They have a magnetic charge. So they are attracted to me. Are you following me? Now, a lot of you all have had close friends and relationships, even family members, that you've done your best to try to get them to come to class or to watch you move a star.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you had very negative results. They just refused. They showed no interest. So that when, like a magnet, I come through the population of the world, all the magnetic charges, they're attracted to me and they never leave. They stick to me. But all the wooden and plastic people, these fake creatures, they just drift away and say, they moving stars, well, let's go get a hamburger. You understand what I'm saying? It means nothing to them. They don't understand it. They don't feel that. Are you following what I'm saying? Because they are destined for the place you call hell.
Yes.
Now you can tell your question a lot of ways, and I'll try to throw more light and blind corners.
Rahubat.
Yes, family, you have a question?
No, that answered it. Thank you, Messiah.
I love you. The brother that just spoke, do you have a question?
Not at the moment. I'm just coming into the form right now.
All right, I'm glad to hear you with your vibration. All right. Anybody else have a spiritual experience or a question they'd like to ask?
I have one.
I'll do my
question.
best. Okay.
I'd like to ask you about other beings enslaving, other beings enslaving other beings and humans, like maybe on other planets and stuff. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes. This is a practice perpetrated by the cabal I was speaking about, which is really all the negative forces, the dark side. Like they say, may the force be with you. Well, the cabal, they're the evil beings, the collective of the evil beings. They have a project where that they have it inhabited and exploited many of the star systems and planets. And they have different projects there to build super weapons, etc. And for that, they don't just employ, but they abduct, kidnap, Shanghai people, and they take them there by the thousands and work them till they die in an effort to stay ahead of the truth by generating weapons and technology that can generate more fear. You follow? So that they can try to keep control over the minds of the masses. So, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. And they also, as individuals in their thinking, they believe they have no trust of one another. It's like the United States and Soviet Russia. You would think they're just white people, but differences create differences. They don't trust each other either. You follow me? Just like World War II, it was predominantly all white nations on the planet that went to war, don't you see?
Mm-hmm.
Or the Civil War. You see how the North and the South got into a war where it was over 600,000 people, men killed? And that, by the way, was also one of the dominant issues involved in the Civil War was also slavery. Right? Because you always have, out of all the angelic beings, ETs, extraterrestrials, people, however you want to define, you had those that maintained the ether vapors, those that stayed with righteousness and with the Most High and divine love. And you had just a very few that broke away and rebelled. And all the evil in the world comes from those rebellions, those rebels. You follow me? All the evil that exists anywhere comes from them. You follow?
Yes.
Yeah. Because they're evil and negative and against nature. And therefore, they're against anybody that's with nature, or truth, or goodness. Are you following me? Or real love. You follow?
Sure.
Yeah.
These are very sick and twisted beings. Ugly in the depths of their essence. Pure evil in the deepest and existential sense of the word. Evil with feet. And they think evil continuously. Even when they try to do right, wrong is found with them, don't you see? It's like they've dug a hole, a deep pit that has no bottom. And they dropped so far down in the darkness that they've been cut off. They don't even see light. They can't see it anymore. They can't even feel divine love. They feel isolated and alone. And they think their only salvation is to accumulate masses of wealth or weapons, because they're always in a posture of defense, or attack, or protect themselves, because they imagine everything is an enemy to them. And in their mind, everything is survival of the fittest, don't you see?
Sure.
It brings me to mind, and I'd like you to exercise your imaginations. There was a craft from the United States that had 2 pilots or astronauts in it. They landed on another world because they had problems with their craft, and they needed to stay there for a minute to try their best to make repairs to be able to return home. While they were there, one was working to make repairs, and the other one was scouting out the planet, acting like he didn't care one way or the other. But the sun was hot there, and the one that was doing all the work noticed that this other guy was not drinking any water ever, but he was never thirsty. And little things like that he began to question. And he found out that this guy had found a little tiny stream. He said, "Oh, so you trying to keep that to yourself? You weren't going to tell me." And he made him take him to the place. And what it was is that he had found a tiny civilization with trucks and buildings and boats and cars. But the people were like little microbes. Tiny, tiny little people. You couldn't see them, but you could hear them. Right? And he wanted to be a god over those beings on that world. So he would take his boot and step on a couple of neighborhoods and crush them. And you could hear him screaming in terror and all this big giant. Right? And the other guy, he was trying to collar him and tell him, say, "Man, why are you doing that? You're a little bitty guy. You're a little guy. You're a frightened little ugly little creature. You're a scared little. You're an ugly little man." And when he finally got the ship fixed and told him it's time to get on board, he pulled a gun on him and told him, said, "You better get on board because I'm standing behind. I'm gonna be their god." And he made them build him a statue, an edifice to himself and his size and stone and bragged about how thousands of them worked all night and built it from the ground up out of fear he might crush them. So, like the cabal does, they use fear. Now, as soon as the other craft took off and the other guys started heading back home, he heard the blast just of another craft, larger craft, that was landing and landed on the planet. And what had happened, it was two more astronauts from another planet, and they were stranded there for a minute to try to make repairs so that they could go back home. The difference is that they were giants that were so big that he was like a microbe to them. You follow? So he kept screaming, no, get away from here. I'm the guy here. I'm the guy. Go back. Get away. And they finally heard him, so one of them reached down and picked him up, but smashed him, by mistake, and put him in the palm of his hand. They examined the little man. And after their curiosity was filled, they just threw him back down on the ground. And then they got their shit fixed and they left. But the message is in this: when you think about there were giants in the earth in those days, these draconian beings, they came to this world, and because you all were vibrating on a lower conscious level, it was like they were giants, even though there were physical giants among them, like August life with 6 fingers, 6 toes, 1 eye like a cyclops. And you know they were giants intellectually and physically. You can see all these great works they built, these pyramids and all these puku and all these great things with 70 and 100, 500-ton blocks. The precision they used. So they were giants comparatively. And right now, my mission is to wake you all up so you can remember who and what you are, because you're much bigger giants than them, don't you know? And you can understand their fear and their desperation in trying to prevent, block computers, block phones, block your mind. They're trying to stop this mission. They don't want us to succeed at waking up 144,000. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Can you imagine when you use the word slave? Imagine people being enslaved and lynched and beaten, raped and burned and tormented thousands of years, and all of a sudden a redeemer comes and wakes them up, and then they grow and mature into what they are. They're allowed to read and get educated and learn, and they become more and more spiritual. And above all, they reconnect with their higher self, the Creator, and they become giants. And it's like a kid in elementary school that bullies keep beating them up and taking their lunch every time they go to school. And they're afraid to go to school, but then one day, after they grow up, they become an MMA fighter. And while walking down a dark alley one night, they run into the bully that used to beat them up and take their little sandwiches and cookies in school. Now, I would say that this is a bad night for the bully, you hear me? And to say that he's sorry and he won't do it again is an understatement. No, you ain't gonna do it no more. And don't you run from me. You understand me? That's his worst nightmare. When you know you done people wrong, you don't want what's coming to you. Yeah, they don't want that. Understand? Not that I think that your soul mission is vengeance, but it's just a natural occurrence. Just like a lot of people are involved with this mission, and they've been doing a lot of little negative things and ugly things and slandering and blocking things and trying to get in touch with other people, slow the mission down, and, and what they won't do, they don't propagate and they don't encourage others to do it. The little sly ones and the overt, and it's like the the little bastard in Long Beach, you know, these little slandering, ugly people doing all these little ugly things. They don't want you to wake up. If they wanted you to wake up, why would they be working against it? You need to ask yourself, why are they working against this mission? And the mission is obviously something to propel black people into a higher consciousness. Why? Because they know something you don't know. They're a part of the cabal. The reptilians, draconians, the dark side. And they can't ascend. They can't ascend. And so they have this bucket of crab nature, you see? Because if they can't make it, you got it? Then they don't want you to go to heaven if they can't go. Misery loves company. Right? And believe me when I tell you that they're very afraid right now. I'd like you all to write this down. Write this down and do some research on the Hopi Indians here in the United States. H-O-P-I, the Hopi Indians, and their contact with extraterrestrials. They used to call them the ant people, and also the Anasazi Indians. But these ant beings were actually Anunnaki. This is very real. And they used to honeycomb the prairies and the lands with caves and do all this. They predominantly lived underground. They also had sheer rock face where they carve out a doorway with a symbol in it that they would approach it and walk up there and use a type of a key that would raise up vibrations, and they could travel interdimensionally, just walk right through the stone and go into another world, or come back into this one through that same portal. And human beings would run up there and find nothing but solid rock. And if you look at things like Skinwalker Ranch right now, you can still see a lot of these places are there. Wormholes. These ant people, these Anunnaki, a lot of times, see, they're agreeable and disagreeable in every species. A lot of times, they would save you all, or we would save you all from the deluge, floods, and great world disasters. You know, when a meteorite would land and kill all the life, we would take you all underground and protect you from floods and this and that and the other. And then bring you back up. And we're also teachers. We teach you all and wake you up. But it's just like when you read the Holy Tablets, you can see that life on this earth naturally began to evolve, and it ultimately evolved into primates, bears and chimpanzees, baboons, orangs, Australopithecus, Homo erectus, right? But then you see that they wrote books, Darwin's theory on relativity and this, that, and the other, on evolution. They wrote books on this, how people evolved from apes and monkeys, right? But now, he had, in his books, he would always make reference to the missing link. The missing link. And which he was making reference to, again, when they go back through the historic table, archaeology, and they find out that there were simple single-cell creatures, amoeba, etc., and that in millions of years they would evolve into multi-cell, and they would evolve into fish, and then all the way up into primates and monkeys and Homo erectus, and cavemen and all. And it would take millions and millions of years for one of these changes to come about. But he found out, going through the archaeological record, that something happened, and he called it the missing link because he couldn't answer it. All of a sudden, in a 600-year period, which is nothing in cosmic time, like a flash, a blink, monkeys went from swinging in trees to building pyramids and using light amplified stimulation emission radiation laser beams and lodestone to levitate. And they became masters of math and science and astronomy and agriculture and medicine. They developed language. Now, we all know what happened now, right? It was because these supreme beings, he called them angelic beings or extraterrestrials or whatever. The reason why they called you primates was like a prime rib is the best. Because they chose you all as mates, but they didn't go into you physically to have sex. Not, alternate, even though that did happen. But what they did is they used science like genetic manipulation and in vitro fertilization and things like that, where they would take the sperm and the tima or cheru out of very smart Anunnaki and genetically engineer and place it in the womb of these 8 women, and they would give birth to something that was much more intelligent than the rest of the monkeys. If you don't believe me, then ask yourself a very logical question. If only time itself turns monkeys into people, how come all the rest of the monkeys still monkeys and they ain't people? I'm waiting. Somebody explain that to me. It can't be but one answer, right? Is that they selected certain monkeys and they chose them for the experiment in laboratories they call Shimpi. On the plains, on Mars, the dark side of the moon, and on the plateau where they built pyramids in Egypt, they had Shimpi, laboratories built, and there they conducted the genetic experiments. And they created or made Barasith means to remake man, and they made men and women in their image and likeness. And the likeness and image of them made they them, male and female. Right? And they perfected it so good until they can stand up 2 of these who force of creative will, man, and woman, nude next to Anunnaki, male and female, and with your eyes you couldn't tell the difference between them. Only one slight physical difference, variation was that the male human had hanging foreskin on his penis. It had to be circumcised. Other than that, they were identical. Look just like the extraterrestrials. But some of them did more manipulation and surgically removed a lot of the nerve ganglia and reduced them consciously down and remove their barytheric gland, what people in the Air Force call the black box. Your barytheric gland that was once located in the hippocampus area of your brain, they removed that surgically to cut off your connection to divine, to your higher senses, psychometry, intuition, clairvoyance. Do you follow what I'm saying? The senses that I invoke in you to get you to move the stars now. You hear me? And that reduced you down to mortals and just humans. Now, they had a reason for this. It's because in their home world, I'm not going to go into how it happened, but there was a disruption in their ozone layer over the atmosphere with the tri-solar system, and the ultraviolet rays from the tri-solar system were pounded out on the planet so strong, they were driven underground, and they had to make large crafts and migrate away from risk in order to survive. And large crafts that they made called Nibiru. It's a fleet of Nibiru, not just one. Got it? Now, the Nibiru involved in our situation is probably 3 to 4 times larger than the planet Earth. But there's Nibiru out there 10 times bigger than that one. I mean, serious. You follow?
Well, how many Nibirus are there then?
Well, you can't count them because they call spoofa. You know, even crafts, shams, even the small, they call them all Nibiru, all the crafts they made. The only real difference is in the size of them. Because they're all sentient crafts, meaning that they're not just made out of metal and wires and gemstones, not just metallic objects, but they also have consciousness and a soul. These are living organisms as well, you follow me? A sentient craft, you hear me? That's how high up these beings are. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. But they brought you up like that and then reduced you down to Lulu Amulu, or primitive worker, because they needed somebody to work in the gold mines. Your mine noob, we call it. You call it gold here, because that element was perfect for what they needed. They would dig it up in the raw ore and then ship it to the dark side of the moon, and from there to the planet Mars, and then on large cigar-shaped crafts, send it to risk to be refined into fine powder, and then take it up in the atmosphere and drop it out suspended in the air, so light it wouldn't come down, gravity wouldn't pull it down, it would just stay suspended in the atmosphere. And one of the properties of gold is that it's very reflective, and the hot sunlight would come down on the planet, and the gold dust would reflect the sunlight away from the planet back out into space. And the more gold powder they put out in the atmosphere, the cooler the planet got, until they got it cool enough in order to return home in safety. You understand? Just like your ozone layer right now over the continent of Australia. The primary difference is you only have one sun, so it's not nearly as intense. Okay? But it is global warming. It is affecting. It is still making it almost impossible to live here over time, especially for your cockasuit, right? But these beings, when I say the ant people, you all remember that on one of my trips, they took me out, picked me up. I was looking around the blackness space. After I looked out at the planet Earth and I saw this war on Earth, and the clouds closed up, and then I lost consciousness, and then I was way out there again. And nothing but black. And it was so tranquil and peaceful out there. But I saw Nibiru down and in front of me with that ball of light bright by its left side. And the next thing, I knew I was on Nibiru by a port window in like a medical facility. But it was dark where I was sitting. And I saw light behind me. When I turned around, I could see my mother on what appeared to be a hospital bed. And she was very young and vibrant. Hair was thick and black. Big eyes, just like she's an Anunnaki too, you see, Anaristian, because I belong to both worlds. Malachi tells you that he's from Sirius, but that Amun is from two places, remember? I'm a chimera. So, and I saw a black nurse standing there next to her, kind of heavy set, in a bright white nurse's uniform like you see on Earth, but her back was turned to me, and I don't know why. They don't like to see their face. But I was satisfied with what I saw there when I saw my mother was okay. But then I turned back into the darkness, and I looked at this little being next to me. And the profile, I outlined in the dark, was looking kind of like an insect with an exoskeleton, like a black shiny skeleton with a long, long head, small little mouth, if you want to call it that. And I turned and I looked at the port window and I was saying to myself out loud, the view was an ascension craft. And I went into a lot of scientific aspects about it. And he was excited. His head was bobbing up and down. He was going, yeah. Like he was glad to see I wasn't just a stupid nigga. You know? And then the more he kept bobbing his head, saying, yeah. I started looking at him hard and trying to make him out in the dark, and I thought it was kind of an insect. And when I really started boring in on it, I was back home in bed. But those are the ant people I'm telling you about, with the Anasazi and the Hopi Indians. And what happens is that we're all back here to retrieve our own. By that I mean, after they got through mining all the gold, for those that have read the Holy Tablets, they freed the slaves, the Lulu Amilu. And they began to make noise and ruckus and raise hell all over the earth. They were inky, and a lot of them, they couldn't sleep. So the four scientists got together, Ariska Gale and Ned Hersag and all that, and they decided, they concluded that the only thing they could do was create a flood and wipe them out because they're just too ignorant and loud. But Mother Ninti, whose womb was volunteered by her to place the zygote or the embryo of these 8 people in, she felt a kind of an attachment to them, and she was saying, oh no, we can't just wipe them out like that because they're our children. And they agreed to the extent that some of the Anunnaki would select some of you all out, even though the flood was going to come, and they would save you all and take you down in chambers or off in crafts, and they would, like on Noah's craft, they would take you up over the flood or down in mountain, some kind of way, and they would protect you from that. But the vast majority of you all would have to go, and they wiped them all out. There were many things on the earth before. Unicorns, and there was a lot of different things. Giants on the earth, and they got rid of all the evil beings, the big giants, not all of them, but they got rid of a lot of them. And you all have survived a lot of heavy events here on this earth. Now, we've been sent back again. The one you call Malachi, Amun-Rayay, Amun-Rayay, Atum and Amun. We are one, yet we're opposites in every way. That's for you to figure out. But we are here also as teachers and guides. Because what we're doing is searching out the world to collect and find the lost, by now should be found, lost tribes of Israel. We are looking in the population for any man or woman that has raised up enough consciousness to be intellectual, in other words, to have enough of our DNA in them, and not the DNA of the lizard and the apes and the pigs, but DNA of supreme beings, to have enough of us in them to be worthy to be taken up and reintroduced into the Intergalactic Confederation to live among higher citizens again. Right? There can't be no rambunctious clowns or evil niggas. There can't be no stupid men. There ain't gonna be nothing like that. No niggers allowed. You can't be niggardly. And one of the ways we prove you out is we measure the extent of your obligation to the mission. How hard are you working individually to wake yourself up and everybody around you? And although there are billions and billions of people in this world, can you imagine that the number we're looking for is so tiny, only 144,000 of you will be found worthy to make this trip? Only 144,000. Just like choosing one leaf off one tree in every major city on the planet. But the ones we're looking for, you know you're different. You've always known it. You've never cared for their education. You were never interested in voting or being part of their system. You never could get it. You were always different. You always looked at the stars and you wondered. Me, when I was a little boy, I studied astronomy. They called me the scientist. I used to collect ants in big giant pickle jars. Ants, and I would study them day after day, week after week, and year after, how industrious and how they could build, and they were social insects. Like the Borg, they all had one mind, with the brain being the queen of the hive was the queen was the mind that ran the hive, and they were all just like one mind. And I studied that, but what that was just intuitive flashes from my past lives as an extraterrestrial. Ant people. You follow? And I'm back here again. I was going to a doctor here, Dr. Rasmi Huda, a real evil draconian bitch. And I'm not going to go into all the stuff that happened there. She shape-shifted and did all these things that threatened me and just destroyed my health. But then when I got away from her, I went to another mulatto doctor. There was another evil bitch. Her name, Dr. Patrice Body. And she would talk to me openly all the time and say, Mr. Jarrisburg, are you sure you won't change your mind? As intelligent as you are, will you change? What they all trying to get me to do is stop teaching, like Malachi said, don't tell those mortals nothing. They just want me to do one thing. Don't teach y'all, don't wake y'all up, don't teach them nothing. That's not good. And Dr. Patrice's Body, she got me in a room, and the people right here in the room, they remember they were there. Hotep and the Lucas were there. And she shapeshifted. And I couldn't even see her. I could see her clothes. But she shaped into a male being with a heavy voice. And she had this tiny little hand that came out from under the sleeve of a smock or whatever you call it. Like a tiny little plastic hand. And she was touching my arm, saying, baby, 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 like that. And then she or it asked me a question and made a statement simultaneously. It said, you're a teacher. You're a teacher? You're a teacher. You're a teacher. And to that, my response was, yes. Yes, I am. But you knew that already. Right? So everybody that comes to make repairs on computers or whatever like that. See, you got to understand these Draconians, they got large tankers, large airships that are interdimensional. You can't see them with your eyes, but keep moving stars with me, you'll be able to see what other people can't see very shortly, and that'll be your protection. These very large tankers, they go out to the ocean and drop tons of water, and they mix it into a certain kind of chemical that they pass over heavy populated areas especially, and they spray it out on people, and it affects their consciousness, keeps them slow or detached from reality and kind of a fog and numb or negative, you follow me, or fearful, stupid, thinking of themselves as individuals. Believe me, they do this. You follow me? And they program you all the time not to think, not to wake up. They come up with all these video games and all these drugs and all these different things to keep you distracted, keep you away from making the journey within, keep you from thinking, keep you from waking up, keep you stupid like Lulu Amilu. So you too will be left behind. That's why we know we're not going to get large numbers. We're not going to yield in the harvest millions and millions of beings. But I will sit here for 144,000. And I'm going to get them. I just pray that you're with me when it happens. But like I said, you're going to have to earn this trip. If you think you're going to sit on your hands and you're not going to be posting up to post, getting this information out that's coming to us, and it's not a big thing to you, you just walking around chewing crackers and humming on Won't You Be Kind to Me, nigga, you're going to be left behind. Where you belong. In hell with the devils. Now, let me think. You know, let me tell you something. You may not believe this, but I have died thousands of times for you all. Yeah, you heard me right. I have died thousands of times for you all. My question is how many of you are truly loyal to this mission that I've been dying for you, for your sake? Because if you are, you be supporting it in every way you can, and you be propagating it all over the world. All the prophets had disciples. Muhammad had 12 Sahabas. Jesus had 12 disciples. Now I would like you to just stop a minute and reflect. Meditate on this. What do you think they had the disciples for? If they were the master teachers, they could have went. Why do you think they had disciples? What was the job of the disciples? The purpose of them?
Help propagate the word.
I'm waiting for everybody to tell me. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of the disciples?
To spread the news. To propagate.
That's exactly right. And back then, a lot of them were lazy and clowning too, because the Messiah Jesus wouldn't give them the results he knew he should have got with the kind of information he was giving them. And they met in the upper room and they started talking about, well, they got a lot of different communities with a lot of different dialects, and so if we go to a lot of people, they don't understand what we saying and when we speak Nazarene and all this. That was the day of Pentecost, when he asked the Most High to bestow them with a powerful blessing, and he brought down on the day of Pentecost the gift of cloven tongues. And he could speak in tongues, and it wasn't gibberish like in church. Stop that childish stuff. What it was is each one of his disciples from that day on had the ability to go anywhere in the world, in any crowd, and it can be full of Chinese, Africans, Vietnamese, and Nipponese, and everybody else, all of them speaking different languages, but when they taught and when they spoke, every man, woman, and child understood them in their own tongue. Did you hear what I said? Did you all hear me?
Yes.
That's right. Now we have the same problem today. We have to make the disciples understand how important it is. That is the whole mission. Now, did they succeed at the mission back then? Did they wait for enough people for the harvest? 2,000 years ago, yes or no? No, they didn't. That's why you're here. That's right. That's why you're gathered here today for your last and final, just the final chance. It's like baseball, and everything on earth, 3 strikes you out. You know, everything in you and in the world around you, historically and personally, tells you that this is your last chance. I love y'all. I really do love you. But it's like the sister says, it's a love-hate thing. You know, I love you. You love humanity. You love your people. But I can't stand you niggas. I can't. Why don't you just come up? You can't, you? And I'm not talking about no personal stuff. I'm saying, I know that y'all, you don't have to be the sharpest tool in the box, but every dumbass understands how to go on Facebook and join all the groups and get on LinkedIn. Y'all know more about media and all that than me. By now, y'all should be over Telegram, putting all these class links up there all over the world with contact information. There should be thousands of people here, and we all know that. Don't you know that? Is it my job to go out and wake up the world and give this information to the world? Or is it my job to make sure that you get it, you receive it, and then you pass it on to the whole world?
Your job that we get it and receive it and pass it on to the whole world.
Now, let me ask y'all all in all sincerity and truth, am I doing my job?
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Sure.
in the name of the Creator, are you all doing your job?
Trying to.
I can do better, honestly.
Well, we have to
I
turn
could
that
do
up.
better as well.
But you got to do it.
Yes.
You got to do better. Or stop having delusions about making it, because you won't make it. You're not going to be a disciple until you start doing the things that disciples do. Get the message out to the world. Y'all know how to do it in ways I don't even understand. Because y'all was programmed with that. I also want to say, make your donations. Cheryl in London donated $228.51 to us recently, too. I just want to say that. I won't always remember everybody and everything. Just like I don't think that y'all, Atifit always donates at least $150 every month. Right? You all got to forget about this ego. That's what separates. Makes you think you're individuals. You have to have a hive mentality. You have to become light workers. You have to wake up. We're waiting for your arrival. Your arrival is when you reach a conscious level where you're awake and you realize and take on your responsibility very seriously. Serious like me. It's not a joke. Say it again.
Robert.
Rahubat. We are waiting for you all's arrival. Now, when you all send this class out tonight, make sure you send the class to brother. What's your name? The one that just came in. Brother,
I just unmuted my phone. This is Maroon. I just muted my phone.
Okay. Well, then you all know how to call Patah and get him to send those links to the class to you, right?
Yes, I'm still trying to fix one of my. I had to set up a new email.
Patah, you going to tell them your phone number so they can call you and get the links to the class? Because I talked to Katat, and he said that he had gathered up all the. He even edited 40 links. For y'all, 40 links that he put, they're supposed to be all on YouTube. So you all go all over YouTube and Facebook and put all 40 links on there with our phone, with our class information. Spread them all over the world, especially the most recent classes. Y'all know the most recent classes have been really vibrating on a high frequency. All the truthful people here will say amen. Am I right or wrong?
Amen.
You're right.
It's been coming out 9,000. That's right.
Roll back. Kim along.
All right. Glad to hear your voice, Kim. We got some packages going out. We got a couple. I know 2 of them I can take right off of Minkari in Mississippi, and for the brother Ra in Virginia. All right. Now, let me ask, who has a question about what you've heard so far?
I've got more of a statement. I've got more of a statement than a question.
Okay.
It would be good if we all work together to help one another instead of, like you said, being individual. Like when we share email addresses and stuff, make sure that we all have the same information to send out.
Exactly. Now the reason I don't encourage that in the open, Cheryl, is because you have black and white devils also in the class, and they just want to get people's personal information so that they can text them and email them all kind of black devil bullshit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. But
you like this fella in Long Beach, California. But now people, let's get somebody here to give. Okay, you want to give her your email address? So you already have Onk's email address, right?
Yeah, I've already emailed her and Kiwi. I've already emailed them anyway. But I haven't received anything. They say they didn't receive it. Huh? No, I'll try Tar Lily's email address and see if I can get some stuff as well.
Please do. Because we want to get that telegram going.
Messiah.
Yes.
I can send 7 other videos that I got to YouTube because I set up a YouTube.
Oh, you did. I love you. Right.
I do that.
Let me tell you something, Lord. Here's your phone. You have Katat's phone number. Call Katat and get him to send you those 40 classes that he edited. He told me he already got them all together with the latest classes up on the top of the list. You hear me?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Please get them and post them up all over the world and send them to everybody's email that you have. And I'll send to you all individuals that I think are responsible enough, everybody else's email, everybody that should have that kind of information, personal information, right?
You can send something to me, Messiah. I'll post them up too.
Yeah, but Maroy, you right there with Maroy, you gonna get him right there. Or you can contact CashApp and get him sent to you too.
Okay.
And I'm sure CashApp gonna email him to Patah. But we gotta have these things, these class links. I tried to touch that nigga, what is his name? I named him Naboo, the snake. Yeah, he got the same name as the devil, Adrian. Y'all know that's the devil's name. And he was typing up personal stuff about himself, and then he started slandering me in the class and everybody. He ain't never seen no star movie, he never, all this little type of stuff. All that old witchcraft, you know what I'm saying? You can't give niggas like that information like that because they're demons. And they don't know how to change. They can't get out that dark pit. You follow what I'm saying? They can't understand no light and divine love or anything like that. They're just creatures of the dark. You understand? Low life slime. They'll never be able to raise. So we have to be an elite group of light workers. You follow me?
Sure.
And we're going to be all right. I'll get the information to everybody that's supposed to have it. Now, Rod, somebody give an email address to Rod in Virginia. I'll give him my email. All y'all have my email address, but I don't have no computers here right now. That's why we feeling nobody's really posting up this information without being encouraged like a little child every day. You got to keep doing it, propagating information constantly. You can't just sit around and wait for class and come here by yourself. You're going to end up by yourself. The work has got to be done. And everybody's looking around, there ain't nobody to do it but you. It's your job. Do your job. Now, who's going to give him a way to contact them so he can get, y'all can send them links to him?
Yeah, you got my email, Ty Willie. You ready, brother?
Oh, you got his email, right, Rob? Right, he says you have it. Okay, so email Ty Willie and get those links from him for class so we can post them up everywhere. And I'd like for you all to put the song that Rob created for us on that list too, okay? He created a song in the name of the 144,000. I know he's off work right now. You here with us, Rob?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So you know Ty Willie's, you know his email address, right?
No. Nope.
He said he don't know it, Ty Willie.
All right, you ready? You want to take it down?
You got something to write with, Rob?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's TyWillie@gmail. That's TAHWILLY@gmail.com.
That's TyWillie@gmail.com. TAHWILLY@gmail.com. And we'll always include, the nights. So Ty, okay, thank you, Ty. Now, Rod, you know you got to post this information up all over the world, right? To thousands of people.
I already got a Telegram. I posted some in Telegram in my Telegram group already.
Yeah, good. Yeah. That's good.
And on my Facebook as well.
Yes, that's good. But now what I'm saying is you have to join large groups. You got groups on Facebook alone, like the Children of Ra. They got 2.5 million people in there. You understand me? So imagine if you get all the large groups and you make 3 posts a week. You reaching millions and millions of people. Out of all those millions of people, you might get 1,000 bites. You understand? But if you're looking for 144,000 in this negative world, by sending out 20 and 30 people, you just playing. You understand me? Let me put it like this. When you create a song, if you want to put it out to the world, are you going to send it out to 20 people? Rob?
So you're going to send out to millions and millions of the world.
That's right. You're going to try to get it out to the world. Right, Rob? Can you hear me, Rob? Yehudi. I'm glad that Adrian brought you to class. But I tell you, I hope you ain't got your ear around his mouth because he's poison, I'll tell you. You'll have some people send you some texts that he sent to Kiefer. Did you send him a text, Kiefer? No, you sent it back to Adrian, his own text.
That is correct. I sure did, and I did not know who that devil was because the misunderstanding was when you gave me the information, you thought you had gave me the tax information for the phone number. That was Adrian. Yeah, that's Adrian Edwards. But send that text to Katat so he can send that in a separate email to Hootie so he can see what kind of creature that is right there and the kind of things he's doing. You follow me? And he's texted other people, about 3 more people, with that evil and posting all over Facebook, slandering and all kind of backstabbing. You follow me? So y'all remember, a lot of times the devil comes as Santa Claus, but he's not Santa Claus. You know, they talk nice and soft and all that kind of stuff and try to act like they're friendly and seduce you and this, that, and the other, but they're just backstabbing snakes, and that's all they are. All right, who's got that next question? I have another question.
And I'll do my best.
Okay, now, it's still on the lines of like the other, being enslaved, but what about them enslaving people's consciousness?
Well, they do. That's the problem. We all been subjected to that. It's called a spell, Leviathan, a giant spell, 666. It started for us as individuals way back past the doll test. Everybody been programmed, not just black people, Mexicans, white people. Everybody on this world been subjected to this bullshit, this propaganda. And everybody's thinking stupid stuff. Wrong, evil, twisted stuff. And, a lot of people say, well, I'm not programmed, I'm woke. I know what I'm doing. I'm conscious, I'm woke, I'm reading, and I'm this, that, and the other. And besides, I don't want to talk about this too long because I'm missing my favorite, program, brother? They've been programming us from the beginning, and they program you each and every day. Well, I don't look at TV. I don't do this like that. I don't watch the news. Okay, but it's like secondhand smoke. You work and live around people that do look at that stuff and this and that. They give you their opinions and their thoughts. Everybody's being programmed by the devil. You have to break the programming, and the only way you can break that programming is by investing yourself 100% into the light. And the truth is the light. And you can't just hear it, you have to live it. Make it a part of your everyday existence and put it in front of everything. Like you want to put your eternity, your immortality, and your paradise throne in front of everything if you want to jump over that grave. Now, all of you all is part of this one mind. Let's go outside and move these stars right now, please. I wanted to share some of this book authored by Dr. Malachi Z. York, Halloween, the Evil One's Sabbath. Now, I think we got a little more time left, right?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Now, everybody that's moving out there, moving stars, you probably have one mind. You see what I mean? But if you don't think it's that important, or you ain't part of them niggas, or this, that, the other, or foolishness to you, or moving them stars. I mean, nigga told me one night, move that trash can. Move the stars. I thought to myself, man, this nigga's below the monkeys. He's lower than the monkeys. Yeah, the devil he's possessing don't even know he's possessed. The devil is all in him. All right? T said, what are you going to move for us in Virginia?
Okay, hold on. I'm at work. Hold on.
Thank you.
All right, I'm outside.
All right, very good. I just turned the light out so I can see through your eyes. What you gonna move? What you looking at?
Hold on.
Come on now. Hey, thank you.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I
All right.
have a star. What I mean?
Okay, you got it? You see a star. Now, which way you gonna move it?
The name of Amun-Rayay, move to the right.
Now, everybody else should be watching it to see what she's doing and let her know.
She's creeping.
This is the test of the 144,000.
Move to the left. Move to the left.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's moving to the left.
Yeah.
All right. They see you in Texas working. Go ahead.
Name of Amun-Rayay, go clockwise.
And it's going clockwise.
It's moving clockwise.
Going clockwise.
They see you in Georgia and Florida.
That's beautiful.
They see you work. Yeah, I know.
And
You
thank
follow me? I love you and thank you. And I'm glad that you're here with this one mind. This 9 mind. Okay. Next. Please stop making the noise on the phone.
I see a star.
Who else?
I see a star.
All right. Which way you gonna move it?
Go ahead, sister.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is a big bright star. So I'm gonna
I see it.
in the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down.
Dropping
Move
down.
it down.
Dropping down.
Yep. Dropping down.
Dropping down.
Now, in the name of Amun-Rayay, move back up.
Going up.
Running up.
Yep.
It's going up.
Moving up.
They see you
Going
working in
up.
Washington, D.C.
Yep. It's a big bright one. Now, in the name of Amun-Rayay, move to the left.
One to the left.
Okay, it's moving left.
Moving
Going
left.
Moving left.
They see you working, God.
Yep. Now move to the right.
We are here, part of that one mind.
It's going to the right.
Moving
Going
right.
to the right.
Now, clockwise circle.
Going clockwise. Going clockwise.
Going clockwise.
Moving clockwise now. Brilliant. Thank you.
I love you. And that was in London, England, so y'all know it ain't got nothing to do with distance. All right. Okay, my brother in Tahuti and Virginia. But wait, let's get the next sister that was getting ready to do it.
I'm
That
here.
was my
I'm going to put the star.
Okay, go ahead.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, run up. And it's running up.
Going up.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, run in a clockwise circle. And it's going in the clockwise circle.
Move it clockwise.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, come closer. It's coming closer. Come closer again. It's coming closer. Now stop. Power Hot family, Power Hot Messiah.
I love you, and I love you all that don't keep it too long. You just say move it 1 or 2 places, you say, okay, as long as everybody see it, that's good. Okay.
This is Anubis. I see that bright craft that look like a star.
Okay. All right. What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to move it in the name of Amun-Rayay. Move up.
It is moving up, going up.
Going up.
Yeah,
In the name of
it had kind of wobbly. It wobbled a bit.
Yeah, a tiny bit, yeah. In the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down. And King is coming down. Tiny bit wobbly again.
Let's drop it down. Coming down.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, move to the right.
Isn't it wonderful to know that you part of the 144,000?
Let's go to
Yes,
the right.
it is. It is. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move back to the left.
He's already going to the left. You did a little shuffle, but it's moving back left.
Left, yeah. In the name of Amun-Rayay, go clockwise. And the name clockwise circle.
All right.
Oh, how Messiah, I love you. My family.
I love you all. I love you all. I just want to make sure that we do a little something for Minkari. Are you here tonight, Minkari? Please mute your phone. You know you can hear that noise.
Yeah, I'm here, Amon.
I love you. And I love the vibration in your voice. Now let's all stop right now and use that. Let's use that God's power right now. That's very real. And visualize that healing light. Raise up the vibrations all through Minkari. And stand him up and give him strength and vitality down past the cellular level. And rejuvenate him. Let's do that.